Hey, welcome back, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Let me switch over to get my webcam going here. Ah, there we go. What's up, guys? Sorry if I'm a little raspy. I'm still getting over this cold just a little tiny bit. My throat's still a little bit sore. Still a little bit congested. Got some coffee here to help me breathe a little bit. All right. Lots of guys, gals, everybody's populating in. That's good. That's what I like to see. I am doing well. I'm getting a little stir crazy being stuck inside in the wintertime here, but I'm doing all right. So today, what we're gonna do a session. We're gonna work on building a session. So we're not gonna be doing so much scenery type stuff, but we're gonna be doing some session building. I figured you guys might be interested in doing that. Yeah, I hope you guys like the sunglasses. I just thought it'd be a nice way to pop on. Nice change. How's my webcam here? I can't tell what I think we're good. All right, so let me transition to the game. There we go. Let me lose these glasses. That was just for my intro. All right, so let me just get myself situated. So I still have a heating pad. I got a heating pad on my back from from when I fell down the stairs the other week. So I'm gonna be messing with that a little bit here and there. So sorry about that. Just keeping my eye on the chat here. We got England, Colorado. Where is everybody else from today? I'm curious. I was just talking about that with my wife actually. She's like, "Hey, where's all your fans from?" I'm like, "Actually, I don't know. I don't think the live stream tells me where everybody is." So let me know in the chat. If you're hanging out in the chat, let me know where you're from. I'm also trying some different settings with the stream, a higher quality setting. So I think there's a little bit more latency in the stream. So I'm gonna try to keep up with the chat, but I think that there's gonna be quite a delay. So we got Arkansas, Ohio, Illinois, New York, Australia, Georgia, USA, Ottawa, Canada, Southwest Pennsylvania, Arkansas, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, British Columbia, Baltimore, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Wow, man, you guys are from all over. Australia, no way. Awesome. Very cool, dudes. Very cool. Well, as you know, I am in Western New York, where it is very cold. Currently, it is 15 degrees outside, but that didn't stop me yesterday from going out and doing a little bit of rail fanning. I don't know if you guys saw on my Snapchat and my Instagram, I posted a few photos. Got out and went over to the rail yard over here, which is really busy, and quite a number of trains. So, all right, I'm gonna draw my attention now to what we're gonna do today. Strasburg, Pennsylvania. All right, so how's the audio? Everything's good? Is music too loud? I hope it's not too loud. My monitor is a little bit different. Grumpy Owl Gaming, welcome to the stream. Welcome. If you guys like some general gameplay, Let's Plays, Minecraft, and Ark Survival and stuff like that, Grumpy Owl Gaming, go check out his channel. He's got some good stuff. What is my Snapchat? It is approach_medium. All right, so here's what we're gonna do today. A lot of you guys have been asking me about when this map is gonna be released, and my plan. There's lyrics in the song, it's throwing me off. My plan, I wanted to release it by now. But the thing is, through Jointed Rail, I wanted to release this as payware. for an affordable price, like $5 or something like that, just to, you know, compensate for some of my time spent on it and stuff like that. Maybe $10, I don't know, something along those lines. But the thing is, I was talking to Mike at Jointed Rail, and he had mentioned making some like custom engines, like a whole like pack for it. So I didn't really want to, this is kind of like supposed to be ambiguous, right? So I didn't want to have like a custom engine or something like that. I like running the New York Central stuff, so other people might like running Pennsylvania Railroad, PRR stuff, or whatever sort of transition era, middle America sort of thing that tickles your fancy. So what I'm gonna do is I wanted to build a couple of sessions to go along with the route, so that way I can release it, and you guys can have some stuff to do. So this is gonna be the first one that, the first session that I want to build, and I started it yesterday, so I don't know, I figured I was gonna work on it, and I might as well just bring you guys in since I had a little bit of time. Oh, by the way, I'll probably only be streaming this for maybe about an hour or so. So not a terribly long stream, but we'll see what we can get done in about an hour and change. So the idea of this session, I'm calling it right now, tentatively, it is just called Coach Shuffle. Sorry, take a sip of some coffee here. So my idea with this one is take an engine from the engine shed, which my plan was to use this this engine over here, which is this is off of the download station, Fairbanks Morris H12-44 locomotive, New York Central. The objective is you start in that engine, you drive over to this consist of passenger coaches, and you're gonna bring them down to the passenger terminal here and park them on one of these tracks. I haven't decided which one yet. And that's about as far as I've gotten in my head of what I want to do for this. So I think that that's probably the first bit of what the story is going to be for this one, the script. So I got started by, so that's the basis of it. And then after that, then we could add in, you know, other trains and stuff like that to drive around and cause some traffic. So here are some of the struggles and the challenges with doing something like this. First of all, there's not a whole lot of good steam transition era equipment on the download station. For the most part, everything that I've been able to find is third party. So for example, these F units here, they're from, I believe they're from Trains Forge. Yeah, they're from Trains Forge. We got this nice caboose here. This is from K&L Trains. This is freeware. Now, the other thing with download station assets is steam engines. Maybe somebody could explain to me why there are no steam engines on the download station that have a matching tender, or any tender whatsoever. So I just have to say that that is my biggest frustration right now, is trying to deal with stuff that is not all third-party content. So this locomotive here, this is a download station item, and it's actually the same as one of these other ones that is from, let's see, what is the website? I think it's from Subpar Productions, steammachine.com. So that's where the original one was from. But there's no tenor on the download station to match it, so I had to find one that was on the download station that it was at least close. So this isn't a matching tender for the steam engine, unfortunately. It's just a close approximation, which is pretty frustrating to have to deal with. So the reason that I'm using download station assets and trying to minimize the third-party content is because when I go to release this and there's assets all over the place, it's very difficult for even skilled people to locate like where some of the missing dependencies are. So I can only package up certain stuff. So from Jointed Rail, all of these freight cars are from Jointed Rail. So I could put this into the package. These passenger cars are from Trains Forge. I can't package those up, unfortunately, without their permission. So I could try to get their permission, or you guys are just gonna I'll have to put a link like in the description or something like that, so people can find the assets and download them. But that's the only way to really do that sort of thing. So I'm trying to minimize the amount of running around that everybody is gonna have to do. That's the bottom line. All right, so that said, so the initial idea was to, like I said, we're going to start with this engine over here. The first obstacle that I'm having a problem with, and if anybody in the chat there knows what the answer to this is, I wanted you, the user, to start right in this engine, right? So when you open up the session, you start in this engine. So what I've done is you go to edit session, driver setup, and I have all of the other cabs on here, the other locomotives, are set to AI driver. Now, the Fairbanks Morris, the one that I want us to start in, I have set as first human player. And everything else, as you can see, AI driver, AI driver, AI driver. And now maybe I'm doing this wrong, so maybe you guys can correct me. I'm going to keep one of my eyes on the chat here. When I go, watch, so I'll hit check. Now let's go test it out. Hopefully nothing crashes, because this actually crashed the last time. So we get the question. It starts with this engine. It wants me to start here, as opposed to the Fairbanks Morris engine that I wanted to start with. So I'm not sure if there's another way to get that to start me properly. I don't know. Maybe somebody knows the answer to that, but all right. So there's that. So I've got a little pop-up window that shows up. I have no idea how to bring it back. Performance, capture screenshot, help mode. I don't know how to bring back that pop-up. Toggle session instructions. Okay, so I had a pop-up. It says couple to the coaches. And then there's a little, well, I guess not anymore. So I did have one of those little bubbles, so I'm going to go back and do that. So what I want to do is add exit driver. Don't save. So what I'm going to do is add some of that stuff. So I see what you guys are saying here, that the driver is automatically set to the first locomotive set down, but if I have it built into the session that I want to start with this engine, why wouldn't it? Driver has to be the first loco. Okay. So how do I, all right, let me try to move it. You guys are saying move it to the top of the list. I can move that to the top. Well, what is in the startup options? That gives me the prompt. What do you want to drive as? But now how do I move? I can't move my engine up. Like I'm clicking on it and I can't move him up or down this list. It seems to be fixed. Click on a driver photo to change drivers. Yeah, I don't see any option to move the driver up or down. You know, the other thing too is I've even removed all of these other drivers and they just come back. So I'm not sure if this is, if I've stumbled upon a bug. Oh, let's see what it says here. Remove all existing drivers first, generate new drivers for empty trains. Click edit. So that's the engine that's selected. What's this guy's name? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be alphabetical. C and then S, J, G. So I'm not sure. Maybe this is a bug. I could try this. Let's see. Remove all existing drivers first. What does that do? Let's remove everybody else. Remove. So let's see if that works. Remove all existing drivers. Generate new drivers for empty trains. No. Only drivers detailed above will be added to the world. All right, so let's see if that works. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth between... Okay, so there we go. So that worked. So I deleted all the other drivers and I didn't have it add anything. So we are in the right spot now. Okay, so I'm going to go back. And what I want to do, oops, what I want to do is add a prompt to couple to this coach. So let's see how we can do that. I don't like that this is so big. So what I did was I first started this ordered list thing that gives me a pop-up. I'm trying to remember when I did the Franklin Avenue Monday morning local session. I'm trying to remember what the heck I had to do within the ordered list. So I think I did no, it's not that. It's add. I think it's objective add. What's up, 2716? Welcome. Let's see. 2716 today we are doing some. We're working on building a session, operating session for Union Terminal. What is my favorite Alco diesel? I think I like the RS. What is it? RS1s, RS2. I think those are probably my favorite. So let's see. We're gonna call this one OBJ1 for objective 1, and there's gonna be a whole lot of like testing to see if this works or this doesn't work, sort of thing. So pardon me. And it's been a long time since I've built a session, so I'm a little bit rusty. Let's see, display name. Let's just call it objective 1 for now. We'll give it an icon. We want a couple. And we want to couple to completion target 1. Let's just see, let's put that in there. And then I think we have to move that over. And what do we have to do? I might also have to pop over to my Franklin Avenue map and just look at how I did certain things. I don't even know if this is the right way to do it, but this is how I've done it in the past. And it works, so. Zigma553 says it's his first time in the stream. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so what am I looking for? I need objective add, objective check, I think is the next thing. And that needs to be underneath that as a child of that. Wait for completion. So OBJ1. So it's checking for the objective that I just made. Wait for completion. Okay, good. Executes children when objective 1 is complete. So then underneath that, I could put a pop-up that says awesome or whatever. But what I needed to do, and I can't remember how to do it, was to add the location marker. Is that under, maybe it's one of these. Pause game while message displayed. No, custom text. Couple of the coaches. That's what I wrote in here as well. To the end of the coaches, icon, couple. Well, let's see. I think that might, oh no, because it doesn't, it's not linked to that. I remember how I did that. Let me switch over to, let me check that off. Exit surveyor, save. I'm gonna go over to the Franklin Avenue map really quick. I'm gonna have to pardon the mess that is my, all this nonsense that I've downloaded. All right, Franklin Avenue Industrial, view sessions, edit that. All right, so I just want to take a peek and see how I set up the Monday morning local. Message pop-up, objective add, navigation display. That's the one that I was looking for. So you get the message pop-up. What I should do is just, I'm going to take a picture of that with my phone. Just so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Okay. So we get exit out of this. Exit surveyor. Go back down. View sessions, coach shuffle, edit, use changes. I don't know why that keeps popping up. It's prompting me like I didn't save it or something like that. Very strange. All right. So, you all right, David Ackridge? All right. So we're gonna do objective add. We're gonna add a navigation. And I guess I probably don't really need to do all of this sort of stuff, right? We could edit that. We want a unique set ID. What do I have to do? This rule will create a set of navigation points within driver. Okay. Clean ID. This is just gonna say couple, one, train. All right, so now I could select the train that I want to couple to, which is this one. Of course, it won't let me just click on the train, will it? Oh man, this is a pain. I think it was Pullman green stripe number 3. Yeah. Okay, so we got that selected. Navigation, all points must be completed in sequence. Okay, good. Let's see, location. Man. Pullman coach, there we go. That one. And then this is gonna be the couple 2. And then once once you get this sort of thing figured out, it's just a matter of, if you could copy and paste it, that's all you would have to do. All right, so let's just see if that works. We'll test it. When will the City Skyline series be out? Well, I did, you're right. I did plan to do a City Skylines thing. There is no icon there. Okay, so that didn't work. I did want to do City Skylines builds, but I just haven't, I got really like in the weeds with all these other trains projects, so I haven't had time to do anything with that. I did actually start a video. I started recording it, but I haven't done anything else with it. I basically introed it and did some time-lapse stuff, but that's about all. So maybe one day. I was actually thinking maybe doing some live streams with City Skylines instead. All right, so objective add. I think maybe what I need to do is push this over as a child. Navigation display. Just make sure it's right. Couple 1. Location Pullman. Yeah, okay. Couple icon display text. I don't really need to display that, but will I eventually visit the A and A? Maybe live stream it on your phone or something. What's the A and A? I'm not sure what that is. Objective add. Let me just double check this. So we add the objective name, objective 1, display name, objective 1, icon, couple, priority, normal, coupled at the end of the coaches. So theoretically, that should work. Oh, I do have to name it. Okay. David says I need to name it. Yeah, I think you're right. Like I said, it's been a while. All right, so we go back. Navigation display, edit. Click here to set it. Couple to this coach. Let's see how that works. Does the video quality look a little bit better for you guys? Like I said, I'm trying to do, I've got it set to a higher setting, so there's a little bit more latency, but the quality should be better. Okay, style automatic, required stop. I think automatic should be fine. Try it again. Arcade in Attica. I'm not even sure if I know where that is, but I don't do a whole lot of, I don't get out much. I still don't have an icon popping up here. This is getting really ridiculous. Try this again. A rail fanning series. I mean, some of you guys have been asking me about that, but I'm not really sure what it is you're looking for. What do you want me to do? You know, like I do like operating sessions like I did with Bill M. and stuff like that. And I try to throw some cinematics in, but I'm not sure what you guys are looking for with the Railfan series exactly. Just like hanging out in one spot and watching the trains go by. Objective check. Let's just delete that for now. We got to do this one thing at a time. Let's move this up first. So objective add, and we'll make that apparent. So a couple of, okay, so that should show the icon. Let's move this up and move this over. Navigation display adds the objective. And what does this message pop up? This is a couple of the coaches. Let's just get rid of this as well for now. So let's see if this works. Start simply, and then we can build on it. Take the navigation display out of the tree. Okay, I'll try that. Exit driver. Turkey Man asks, how do you get New York Central train? I'm not sure what you're looking for about that. What your question is? What am I doing? I'm so used to going to those build tabs on the side there. All right, take the navigation display out of the tree. All right. But it needs to be, it's part of the ordered list though. That's the thing. Is the ordered list not going properly? Let me look at my photo again. How did I have this set up? Oh, I see. Well, the objective check is to check the previous one. Then I've got the ordered list, message pop up, objective add. So let's try swapping these. The navigation display doesn't need to be in the objective list. Okay, but if I'm gonna make multiple lists though, that's the only reason that I'm putting it in an ordered list, is because if in order to complete it and have you move on to the next thing, I think that's what you have to do. At least that's what I did, like I said, with the Monday morning local on Franklin Avenue. Still nothing. I'll try it. I'll take it totally out of the tree though. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly. All right, we'll take it out. Let's get rid of the ordered list. Delete that. Oh, no, hold on. I don't want to. Let's just move this out. Get rid of the ordered list. Objective add, navigation display. Well, it's fine. We'll even delete that. We'll just see if we can, whoops. Let's see if we can just get the navigation display. Otherwise, I mean, the other way that I could do this is really simply and not use these pop-ups and just have, you know, the instructions on there as to what to do. I don't really know. I know when I did the Monday morning local, N3V wanted all the pop-ups and stuff like that because people want to know what to do. But if that's not really necessary, then I'm not going to do it. Let's just try this navigation display, and then we'll try to get the ordered list set up properly. And then if this still doesn't work, then we'll take a look. We'll go back over to the Monday morning local and see what happens. Unique ID. This is going to be objective 1. Call it that. The train is optional. All right, I don't need that because I think that pertains to what engine you're using. We want to couple to Pullman. This one, green stripe number 3. Okay, this is going to be a couple to icon, display text. This is a test text. Halfwick is his first time, or her first time, his or hers first time here. Sorry. Welcome. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for joining. Style, automatic. That's the display text. Unique ID, objective 1. Okay, navigation display. Let's just see if this will work as just Just the navigation display. Ah, yes. All right, so we got that. So now let's hypothetically just move our engine down here. And let's just see if it updates when I couple to it. Oh, let me put my game sound up a little bit too for you guys. Sound settings. I usually keep it off because it just gets really annoying to me when I'm building. Easy mode, whatever. The memes have started in the chat, apparently. I'm not sure what's going on. What's up, Chris Scott? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so the next thing after, if this works, so this is a test text. Okay, so we know where that goes. All right, great, so that worked. Great, so now we can build on this. Exit driver. Don't save. All right, we got that. Let's just do this. Couple here. We'll put that there. Bada bing. All right, so now the thing is, if I want to add, let's see, let's add a pop-up. So this is where we get complicated. Message pop-up. We're gonna say custom text. This is gonna say couple to the end of the passenger coaches. Great. All right, icon. I'm not gonna put an icon because that just gets really annoying. Messages top left. Custom text. All right. So now if I make the navigation display a child of message pop-up, let's see what happens. And what I want to do is the message, I want it to pop up and then you see where you have to go. That's the idea here. Okay, great. So there's our message pop-up coupled to the end of the passenger coaches. We check. Okay, great. And that tells us what to do. Fabulous. All right, let's keep ourselves under control in the chat here, please. Scrolling through. Alrighty. So, now my question is, the reason I was doing ordered lists before is because once you complete this, then it needs to tell you what to do next, basically. So, let's see. If I add another one, message pop-up, and let's just move that and then down. I can't move it down. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm messing everything up. Let me just cancel that. So we want to add another message pop-up to tell you what to do. All right, so that's underneath. This will be bring the coaches to, I don't know, track to terminal track. I don't know, we'll say 6 because I think there's 8 tracks and I think 6 is open. You need to use navigation point complete to display message for next task. Aha. Okay. So let's try that. Navigation point complete sets as nav point as complete. Okay, and do I have to put that as a child of that is my question. Mark navigation point, click here. Nav point, I've never used this, so I'm not sure what this is. Mark navigation point, click here to set. Complete inset, click here to set. But what is this set ID? Is that pertaining to the previous thing here? Not sure. I'm not sure how to configure this. Navigation point complete, marks as nav point complete. Do I put the name in here? Unique set ID objective 1. Nav point index number set ID, so I guess maybe that's this. Unique ID set. Okay, so objective underscore 1. So let's just copy that. Git edit. Bada bing, bada boom. Put that in there. I don't know what this -1 thing is, but it still shows up not right. If I set it to just 1. I'm not sure what this is supposed to do or how to set this up. Maybe does that work? Let's see. Oops. Try driving it. Set the navigation display at the top of the list and put all of the objectives in that one. Set the navigation display at the top. Set the objectives in that. All right, well, let's see if this works. Then use navigation complete. All right. We shall see. And that broke my icon. Oh, no, it didn't, because bring the coaches. Why did it skip? It skipped that first one. Exit driver. All right, we're gonna try this again. Go to edit here. So let's see, David Ackridge says, set the navigation display at the top of the list and put all of the objectives in that one, and then use navigation complete. Take it out of the message display. Okay. So if I just pop it over like that, will that work? Does it not need to be a parent? Is there a child of the parent? Let's see. David says, take it out of the pop-up tree. So that's skipped to, it's just showing all my pop-ups at once. And no icon. Okay, so let's try this again. The navigation display only worked. Let's get rid of the second message then. So the navigation display I still don't know what this mark navigation point 1 complete, what this number means. If I make it 0, does it matter? Can't make it 0. The navigation display needs to be by itself and have all of your objectives in there in order. Okay, navigation display. So should I put the message pop-up in the navigation display? Is that sort of the idea? Navigation display, message pop-up. Okay, so that gives us the icon. But now I bet you the pop-up will happen after. One is the first objective in the navigation display. So I'll probably get the pop-up after I couple to this. I should reverse engineer one of the vanilla Tane routes to see how they handle the navigation points. Yeah, that is actually how I built the Franklin Avenue Monday morning local session. I reverse engineered it, but it's been a while. I mean, the last time when I built that, it was like 2 or 3 years ago at this point. I haven't done a session since. Okay. So let's take the message pop-up out of there. Kablam. Navigation point complete. Let's see if this works. Sorry, I told you this was going to be a lot of like trying to mess around and see what we can do. Okay, couple to the end of the passenger coach is great. Now have a second objective in the navigation. Okay, so we'll try that. Navigation display, navigation point complete. So then do I add another navigation? As a child of that, or just underneath it? I guess it could just be underneath it. Let's just try. Oh, well, what did I just do here? What did I do? Hold on. Navigation display. I'm gonna add another navigation display. So if there are 10 objectives in the session, they all need to be in the navigation display. Okay. But so David, I need to add, if I'm gonna have different displays though, that all falls under one thing? I guess that's where I'm confused. That's why I was using the ordered list, because it seemed to make sense to go down sequentially down the list. Only need one navigation display in the code. Okay. But what if I want another one though? To direct. So, all right. So what I want to do is have another navigation display over here at this track mark that says, all right, bring the coaches over here and uncouple them over here. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I want I want another navigation pop-up to show up, and I guess another text pop-up box to tell you what to do. The objectives happen in order. Seems to be. All right, hold on. Let's do this. Exit surveyor. Let's go take another look quick at Monday morning local. Just to refresh my memory on how the heck I did this. Where are we here? 15, Franklin Avenue Industrial. View sessions, Monday morning local, edit. All right, so let's see what I did here. I did an ordered list. Ordered list, then objective add, navigation display, objective update. So this is how I did it before, and it worked, I think. If I remember correctly, it worked fine. Objective update, and then once that is updated, that's got that name that had the navigation display. Because if I can just mimic this, let me take another photo of this. All right, David, you're a moderator now. All right, so let's try that. Exit favorite. Back. Union Terminal. View sessions. Coach shuffle. Edit session. Use changes. Sure. Okay. So let me look at my photo. I'm gonna just try to replicate exactly what I did and see if it works or if it doesn't. Rails of the world, you're a moderator now too. Use your power wisely. All right, let's just try this. Ordered list. And then I did, underneath the ordered list, objective add. Okay, and that was the child of that. Kablam. Gonna edit that. Objective add. Unique objective ID. We're gonna call this objective 1, obj1. Display name. We're just gonna say first. Okay, icon. Couple. Party, whatever. Okay. David says, I add all my objectives in one navigation display, then I just a display message box after each objective is complete using navigation complete. Okay. I gotcha. I guess there's more than one, you know, there's multiple ways to do this is what it seems to be. Just like anything else in trains. So, wait, I don't want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of this. So, then I had navigation display, and then underneath that I did objective update. Okay, and then click here to set. That was obj1. Save that. Set objective as complete. Great. And then sorry, I'm like trying to keep an eye on the free for all that's happening over in the chat. In navigation complete, the number corresponds to the objective number in the navigation display. Yes. Okay. So then I had, we could do, okay, great. We did that. Is there, I wonder, there's not a way to like copy and paste these, right? Oh, look at that. You can. Can you duplicate? Create template. Insert above, insert below, cut, copy, paste, delete, indent, outdate, move up, move down. just copy that and then paste it. Oh wow, you can control C and control V. Wow, trains, you just blew my mind. Okay, we're gonna call this one obj2. All right, I think if this works, then we might be onto something. Bring coaches to terminal track 6. And then this is gonna be what location, proceed forward, proceed stop, turn around, unload, decouple. This one don't need an icon. We'll do that. Proceed forward. We'll try that. Alrighty. Okay. See how that goes. Navigation display. Okay. This is going to be objective _2. Location. This will create a set of navigation points within driver objective 2. Okay. What I want to do is drive to, I guess, proceed forward. But does this go to a track mark? Yes. Okay. Terminal track 6. Great. Great. I don't even know if that's the right track that I want to put it on there. Yeah, 6 is good. Okay, and then we can do objective update. Should be obj2, which I don't remember if I updated this on here to obj2. Okay, so let's see if this works at all. Okay, we got our first pop-up here, coupled to the end of the passenger coaches. Okay, that's good. Now, if we bring our engine over here, all right, let's see. Hopefully this will update and then give me the pop-up and then the next track mark. That's the hope. Okay, it made a noise. It didn't give me a pop-up to say what to do though, but I guess I could do that. So let me set some junctions and then we will drive over there and see how this goes. So high junction overlays, can't stand that. Get rid of that too. So to be entirely honest with you guys too, I haven't even done much driving on this map at all. I tested it a little tiny bit, and obviously I ran some trains for the cinematics, but I really haven't done a whole lot of driving on here. So basically my idea when building something like this is, and I'm sure that this is how most like game design happens and stuff, is to figure out what the core objective is going to be and the moves, and then after that then I can add in some of the other stuff, the other movements, if there's other trains, other traffic, you know, driving around or anything else like that, and then you can kind of layer on and build up a little bit at a time. I think my heating pad turned off. Yeah, it did. I really like this map though. I'm excited to get it out to you guys. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. And also, like, you know, I don't really have a whole lot out there. I've got Needles and Franklin Avenue Industrial for you guys to play on, and I'd like to get more of my stuff out there because, you know, you guys are excited for it, and for me it's really interesting to see how you guys play on it and what kind of stuff you do. Some of you guys have sent me screenshots of modifications you made to Needles and operations you guys do on Needles and stuff like that, and that's really exciting for me to see that kind of stuff. So I do enjoy that quite a bit. The buildings along the backdrops here, you're talking about the these downtown buildings here. These were part of the 12 days, the Christmas JR 12 Days of Christmas. Currently they're not, they haven't put them back up yet, but all the 12 days stuff is going to be uploaded eventually. I don't have a time for it. I know a lot of you guys are asking, but I don't have a date for that. And I just realized I don't have any post-processing going. So I'm going to turn that on in a second. David's got a Trains Sessions Facebook page. Yeah, I mean, I would love you guys to do some sessions too. Like, I would love to see what you guys come up with. It's a small map, you know, but there's a lot to do. There's a lot of action that you can, a lot of switching you could do. I personally really like switching. So this is why I really like this map, but there's so much switching that you could do on here. So yeah, these buildings are the new JR downtown structures, and I think the idea is that we want to do some reskins. So we've got the basic building, but we want to, you know, make some variations of it so that they look a little bit different. Would like to see this out on jointed rail. Well, it should be when it's done. That's where it will be. So let's see if, I'm not sure if it's gonna update this with the leading end of the train or the locomotive itself. I'm guessing it's gonna update with the locomotive, but we'll see. Oh, no, it did. It updated with the rear of the train, or the front of the train. Okay, so the only thing, so we need to modify here. We're not gonna save. I need a pop-up to happen in between those things. So what we need is, oh, let me put these, whoops, whoa, my mouse just like went way crazy. Let me put my, not shaders, post-processing on. Everything's gonna look kind of funny for a moment while I configure it. I gotta remember what my settings were. 0, 5, 9. Okay, this might be a little bit bright for this map now that I'm looking at it. These are the settings that I use on the PNB. It looks a little bright for this map, but I'll just leave it for now. Actually, I could probably turn down the exposure adjustment a little bit. There we go. Okay, so what I want to try to do is, where's my phone? I'll look up. I want to add a pop-up for that. That just tells you what to do. Okay, so the way that I actually had this set up is that on this line, for the second one, the first thing was objective check, to check that this previous objective has been completed. And then I have another ordered list underneath that. But I don't think I need, it doesn't seem like I need that, because it got completed. We added a new objective. What I could do is put a pop-up underneath here, which would be message pop-up, and let's just say bring the coaches to terminal track 6. So this is like really basic, I guess, session building. Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing like advanced HTML pop-ups. I'm not playing sounds. I'm not doing that kind of stuff. I'm trying to keep this simple, but you know, logical. Let me move this engine, just so I don't have to keep doing that in driver mode, because it's kind of a pain. And then I'll put it back. So I just want to see now if this is going to give me the pop-up when I want it to give the pop-up. Okay, so that first pop-up was coupled to the end of the passenger coach is great. Okay, we're going to couple. And then when we couple, there we go. Okay, bring the coaches to terminal track 6. So it hasn't given the little indicator thing yet. We check that. There we go. It tells us where to go. Okay, so now we are on a roll. Exit driver. Don't save. So no, I don't claim to know like exactly how operations work on a coach yard. I know out of a terminal there'll be maybe mail or baggage that gets switched out, or a diner car and things like that, but there's not a huge selection of that sort of stuff. I don't think I have. These are just like basic Pullman cars. So the way that I picture it is like this train right here would be maybe a commuter train, because it's short. I don't know, maybe it'll be pulled by an Alco RS1 or something like that. But I don't know if I have any. These are just different Pullman styles. So then, all right, so maybe you guys can help me out here. What should be the next thing for this session? By the way, this is one of 3 operating sessions that I have like outlined and planned. So the other ones are freight ones, and I think I have one planned that's like a, what do you call it? Do-si-do and, you know, steam engines and stuff like that over here. But so the next thing, what do we want to do? So I'm picturing we drive over here, we drop off our coaches at track 6, and then our engine does what? Which would be the next thing that we have our engine do? Because if that's it, and then he just goes back to the engine terminal, that seems like that would be like a really short operating session. Although that wouldn't be a bad one just to start and get people, you know, as an intro. So let's see. I'm trying to think to myself. Oh, one of the sessions that I had planned out was to grab the MOW equipment and take that out. You could also build a freight train here, put a caboose on it, that kind of thing, build a consist that way. But this one was going to be a passenger coach shuffle. Pull a set of cars back from the yard, from the terminal to the yard. Oh, yeah, we could do that. Move those box cars at the warehouse. That's a good one too, on the way back. Not a bad idea. I think I like the idea of pulling the box cars. Oh, so also the other thing to mention is like some of these cars here are not necessarily ones that are going to be here all the time. They just happen to be ones that I had, and I kind of made like a base session of just equipment that I can use, like assets that I can use. So some of these are just trains that are just kind of sitting here. And in fact, most of this is still staged from the cinematics that I did for my New Year's special. So, move the box cars to the warehouse into the yard for an outbound freight to pick up. Where's my water? Okay, I like that idea. Pull an inbound train to the passenger yard and take the engines to the local shop. Quick move on the way back. Yeah. So I like the idea of grabbing the box cars. So maybe that's what we should do. Let's open up a track here. Let's get rid of this consist. Because I did, you know, like I said, I outlined these. Oh, I had the other session that I have is to do like icing rack stuff. I outlined the I outlined like my ideas, my concepts, but I didn't like go in depth like writing them. Like I kind of, when I did Franklin Avenue Industrial, the Monday morning local map, not loco. I completely outlined the whole thing like a script, like I was writing like a movie. I kind of like to work that way. Oops. Keys are sensitive today. I want to... Let's get rid of this consist as well. Move this over. All right, so let's move this consist out of the way as well. So there's also, I added, some of you guys asked me about portals. So these are the staging tracks to set up for trains entering and exiting the yard. And then I have a portal on each side so you can bring new trains on or get rid of trains easily without having to just park them in the staging. That was my plan. Okay, so we got that. We need to, I'll have to add a track mark. And yeah, you know what? Pulling these boxcars will be interesting because we're gonna have to run around them somehow. And this will be interesting to see, now that I'm thinking about it, how would we do this move? So we're gonna have to go all the way down here. Ah, see, now I see some problems. And this is what I was worried about with the track arrangement, is that now, coming off of this track here, there's no way at all to get from this track into this yard. You'd have to come down and then reverse down this way, and then you could pull up here, kind of like doing switchbacks. That's what I was afraid of when I was building this and when I came up with the track plan. And again, like, this track plan was just something I came up with. So it's not perfect. This isn't one that somebody else drew up and I copied. I gotta blow my nose. Excuse me 1 second. I'm gonna move my mic. I've had this cold for like 2 weeks now. It's killing me. Absolutely killing me. Will not go away. Head cold. All right, so I guess that's an unfortunate thing, but we'll do it. I think that'll be the next thing. So we're gonna couple to these cars. Let's get the name of this box car here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So we're gonna couple to this guy first. Properties, 40-foot box car, CP number 2. Okay, we can do this. Copy that. And then how do I paste below? Well, I guess we just do this and then we can slide it over. Okay, so this will be objective number 3. Okay, this is 3rd. And actually, I don't think I changed the name of this one. This should be 2nd. Okay, so we got that. Okay, objective ed, navigation display, edit. Oh, well, we went on to say couple to pick up the boxcars at the freight houses. Okay, navigation edit. So objective tree. Okay, we're gonna go, what do we say, CP boxcar 2? Yeah. Okay, display text. Couple. All right, automatic, proceed forward. We're gonna change this to a couple icon. Couple. Okie doke, got that. Objective 2, edit, should say complete that. All right, great. Now we can do this, copy, and we will paste again. And we want to be able to, we want to then couple to this car. which is 40-foot boxcar B and URRA1. I'm just going to leave that open down there so I can see that. All right, so edit. This is going to be objective 4, and then you know what? Once we get this, we'll run it quick and see how we do. Couple. Okay. Edit. We're going to couple to, what is this here? B and URRA1. Okay, we got that. Display text couple. And then we got to change this to objective 4. Great. Oh, I wanted to add the pop-up, right? So that's at the end of that one. This one says, bring the coaches to terminal track 6. Okay, so that's that. And then at the end of this, we could do another message pop-up that says, okay, let's do this message. So it's going to be, and then, I mean, I'm just kind of writing in some, I guess, placeholder text here. We can change the verbiage later on so that it sounds a little bit better. If it's a Union Station, wouldn't there be more than New York Central motive power? Correct, yes, except that there's just not a whole lot of stuff out there. So I'm just using what I have. I mean, you could easily put some Santa Fe stuff in there, but, or whatever, CNW or any other of your favorite railroad in rolling stock. The only problem is that that's all I've been able to find so far. So you guys are adding me on Snapchat as I do this. Let's see, uncouple from coaches. Uncouple from coaches. Couches. Uncouple from coaches and pick up boxcars at freight terminals. All right, so we got that. That's the next two things. Okay, I think we might be able to make this, take this for a spin. Okay, DCC mode. Couple of the end of the passenger coaches. Okay, thank you. Let's pull up. Get rid of this. I really wish there was a way to natively hide the junction overlays like by default. Okay, bring the coaches to terminal track number 6. Okay, great. That gives us a little pop-up there. And I'm just gonna like really whip through this part since we already did this. That's the biggest problem with session building, is having to do this stuff over and over again in order to test it. All right, see you later, Patriot Works. Thanks for hanging out. I gotta go do dinner soon myself. Oh, did I miss a junction? Oh no. I guess I missed the switch track there. Let's just move this. All right, so we're just, like I said, I'm gonna just whip through this part really quick so we could just do the boxcar part, test that out, see how it does. I guess it's not too late for me to make some modifications to the map itself. I think one of the main things that I really wanted to do was add a crossover from here off of this track onto here. It's just that the radius is just so tight. So I couldn't really get a good way to do it. And alternatively, you could put one kind of in here, but again, it was just so tight, I didn't want to do that. Overshooting junctions. Yeah, is this your first time watching me operate? This is what I do all the time. I run red lights, grade crossings, and I overshoot junctions. I'm a terrible, terrible operator. I'm going to be speeding in just a moment as well. I really love this scene right here. You know, I like looking at it from over here too. I had this in my my cinematics. Really love this view. If I could really get down to like first person view, oh, it'd be great. It's like you're really there, except for the big giant door in the background. All right, David, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the advice on how to do this sort of stuff here. And stay in touch. We'll see you in the next live stream. Tell your pops we all said hi. Okay, uncouple from the coaches and pick up the box cars at the freight houses. Okay, so we got our pop-up popped up, which is fabulous. Let's just finish shoving this in here. I should probably stop before I derail. Okay, we'll hit the check mark. Okay, great. The icon shows up for the next thing to do, which is fabulous. Let's decouple. Ooh. Can I not decouple? What's the problem here? There we go. I think this is just 3 coaches. 3 or 4 coaches? 4 coaches. Okay, so now the next part of this is to go over and pick up these box cars. Man, this would be a great model railroad to have in real life. Maybe I'll build this one day for real. There's just, this is my type of model railroad. Like I always say, I'm not a huge fan of mainline operating and stuff like that. I like switching. I like this kind of like smaller scale sort of thing. Lots of operation packed in a small package. Trainman261 subscribed. Thank you, Trainman261. Much appreciated, and welcome to the channel. Will I get the 20th Century Limited from K&L Trains when it's done? Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. Again, like I'm actually not a huge fan of Steam stuff. I do prefer diesel equipment, but I mean, the 20th Century Limited is pretty awesome. So, I don't know. Probably. Hard to say. I feel like I've got so many different things that I'm constantly doing that I can't just jump. I can't, not jump, but like put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. Like, I don't know. I'm always working on different stuff, and that's what I really like about doing this virtually, is that there's so many options to do. Like I did Santa Fe Needles District. Like that's a Santa Fe map. And this one is New York Central Transition Area. The PNB is its own thing, and you know, there's just so many different options for stuff that you could do. And I don't know. I like having the option to do what I want or what I'm feeling at the time. Because I suffer from, you know, the same thing everybody else does, where, you know, not that I get burned out from what I'm doing, but you start working on a project and then you start thinking about something else that you could do. And then you're like, oh yeah, I mean, that would be really cool to do. And then, you know, you start doing that and then you get distracted from that and you're like, oh man, this other thing would be really great to do. I'd love to do a wintertime route or a passenger terminal or something like that. And then suddenly you've got 5 different projects happening. And then you can alternate between them. I guess that's the nice thing about trains virtually, is that it's not like I'm building a whole model railroad in my basement and I'm committed to it for however many years or something like that. And all this money. You know, over the past year, what did I do? Like 4 or 5 different maps? Like, that's pretty awesome. 4 or 5 different railroads to build in a year? That's great. You can't do that with HO scale or N scale. You'd be throwing money out the window. I mean, you can. I mean, I guess you could build it, and then if you did it modularly, you could sell them. I don't know. But this allows that kind of flexibility. And speaking of, you know, having different ideas, I do have some other ideas for some other builds. Ooh, we need to go down that way. I've got some other stuff that I think you guys are gonna like coming up in the future. I always say that, but I'm always kind of changing stuff up. What's up, Pittsburgh Trains? Welcome to the stream. It's getting really hot in my office here. Take my hat off. I need a haircut really bad. Nobody say anything. Okay, great. We got that. And it did not prompt me for the next thing. Bruce M56, it's sorry. That's funny. Chris Scott, do I like N scale better or HO? You know, I like the details that you get out of HO a lot better. But N scale is great for getting a lot of railroad in a small area. So it's pretty nice for that. If you want to model like a big yard or something like that, N scale is awesome. Greetings from Poland. Hey, welcome. That's where my ancestry kind of goes back to. Polish descent, if you can't tell from the big nose. Thank you, DeBobber. Much appreciated. Okay, so this is such a pain. So it didn't prompt us for the next connection, but you know what? Let's finish out doing the switching just to see just to figure out what our motion should be. And then I can try to reprogram everything since it did not work for some reason. Also, I never put a ceiling on this place, and I never plan to. Hope you guys don't mind. This is not Trains Model Railroad, this is Trains the New Era. It's just a model railroad in Trains the New Era. Trying to just get like a cool spot here. I mean, you could do this in Trains Model Railroad, but this was built in Trains the New Era. Look at this car coming. Batmobile. You could do this kind of build in Trains Model Railroad, but I prefer Trains the New Era. I did needles in Trains Model Railroad, but I just didn't see any benefit to it, so. We're gonna couple up here, and then we gotta figure out, I think, I opened up one of the tracks to... Now we have to figure out what our move is gonna be to get into the yard. There really is no way to get into the yard here. I really screwed myself with this. I might have to make some modifications to the map itself. We could come out of here. If we back up, we could back down towards the terminal and get on the Y. But there's really not a good option here. That's not good. I kind of had a feeling about this when I was building it, but I'm not sure what the solution is. Because really what we would need, ideally, is a crossover... You need is a junction off of the outer Y track here to here and then into the yard. But because this is such a compact space, couldn't really squeeze that in. Got my crossover here. I guess in my head I was almost imagining that we would switch out the freight terminal stuff would be on one of these tracks down here out of the coach yard, but I guess that doesn't really make any sense either. So I guess maybe... I think a solution might be... I'm thinking here. I think what I could do is I can modify the track so that there's a junction from here to this track and then slide this one down basically, so we would have a little bit of a crossover, but that still doesn't really help us get into the yard better. We have to go all the way down to the end of the map to get into the yard. So, Alright, well, for now, just start backing up. That looks pretty cool. That is a nice angle. See, I saw you guys were talking about turning the shadows off. You know, you could turn off shadows when you're doing the model railroad stuff, but then everything just looks really flat. Like this, I have the shadows on, and it really adds to it. And I think a good model railroad should have good lighting too, like a real model railroad. I know like the going trend is pretty much to just have like flat lighting, but that's not really great. Flat lighting it's good to get things illuminated fully, but it's not really the best solution for. It just doesn't make things look great. Like look how nice this building looks by having a highlight on this side and then shadows over here. Like I wish the shadows were more contrasty in this game even. I mean, I know you could put shaders in here, but the shaders that I've had just do some weird. I get some weird moire patterns and stuff like that in textures, so I don't really use them. All right, I need to still need to figure out what the heck I'm doing here. 'Cause I could go. Could back up. What's up, Jimmy Productions? Welcome. Let's just stop here for one moment and take a peek. So I could go down and then reverse up this way. That puts me on this track, and then I can go down and then back up this way. That's a lot of moves for that sort of operation. Maybe what we should do is go back into Surveyor and make a couple modifications to the route itself. Really got my gears turning here. I think that's going to be the solution, is to put a crossover up and then a crossover there. It doesn't help us get into the yard though. That's the only trouble. Yeah, you know what? Let's exit driver. Let's do this quick. Let's not save this. And I hate having to modify the route because it's just exit surveyor, and then we're gonna go just into the route. Edit that. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Because that just changes everything for me. And then I have to I got all these flangey things here too that I'll have to replace. Is there another solution? Another solution. Thinking. If I put it here. Nope. This This is gonna be tricky. I guess we'll just do this. That connects. Delete that one. Straighten that. I'm just trying to think if this is gonna work the way that I want it to. Operationally speaking, I knew it when I was building this that I was gonna be in trouble. Oops. I was gonna have some trouble with this. I knew it. Operations wise. Because these freight depots were like a later addition too. Like I didn't originally have that in there. Is the floor a base map? No, the floor is not a base map. I did this. This is my own track plan that I designed, that I came up with. Ideally, there would be a junction here to get into here, but that's cutting it way too close. I could try doing a double slip, but I don't... Real railroads try to avoid those because they're really high maintenance and they're kind of like a pain operationally speaking. So I try to avoid using that. They're not used very frequently. Although I know like in large terminals like this, there are double slip switches all over the place because there's usually like a huge spider web of track that comes in. That's why I have this crossover here and stuff like that. But their idea is to get, you know, you should be able to get a passenger train from any track to any other track, you know, so I got this crossover here. I can't move that down, kind of locked in there. I guess that this is the only solution that I can come up with, I think, is to put this here and then put the other crossover here. Which I don't particularly like either. Take the Y closest to the tower and connect it to the other main. Take the Y closest to the tower and connect it to the other main. Connect it out this way? And then I'm gonna have a crossover though. Because is there another way? Let's see, if I brought this... No, I can't switch that in any sooner. Yeah, this is the problem with like a really compact design like this, is that operationally speaking, you can get really... Your hands end up kind of tied. We could, if I move this... I don't want to do that. From the track, you want to cross over first, then a double slip. Because I mean, you guys are right. I could take this track and connect it to here, and then this inside track and connect it over here, and have a separate crossover. But I definitely don't like this. That's got to go. Because I like the idea of using this as like a passing track or something along those lines. Oh, well, you know what? Well, let's see. Hold on. That goes that way. Because now any train on this track is stuck going right into the yard. Or into the terminal. That's why I did it the way I did it. This track can go straight. And that's got double track. And then this track goes into the yard. That's our yard lead. I guess that could work fine. Still doesn't help me get into the yard any better, though. That's the only problem. That's the biggest problem, I guess. I smoothed it now, I could put a crossover in. I'm curious if I could... Can I grab this? No, that's going to be absolutely absurd. That's too tight. Too close. Because I could... Double slip. If I connected this here, what? So that would go like that. Tricky. What's up, Greg Lane? Welcome to the channel, to the stream. All right, Chris Scott, catch you later. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming for. I'm supposed to be making dinner soon, but my wife has not texted me yet. I'm not sure what she's doing. All right, so still doesn't solve our problem here. Oh, Greg Lane, I just put 2 and 2 together. This Greg Lane is one of the original developers for Trains. You guys should all say hi to him. I just totally, I'm sorry, Greg, that went way over my head. I'm like so focused here. Oh man, it's so hot in this room. Cooking. Well, glad to have you on the chat here. I do recall that you wrote me. I'm like my head is swimming. trying to figure out how to do this crossover thing here. Sorry about that. All right. All right, let's see. What are we doing here? What do we get? Trying to get into the yard. I could shorten the caboose track. Is a possibility. Because this was supposed to be a bypass track. This is the caboose track. Problem solving. I guess the best solution here is just gonna have to be, we have the crossover here. Now let me think here. If we switched out the freight houses from the coach yard, and that was part of our, and that was how the operation worked, hypothetically. Could we have better access into the coach yard? Because that would be beneficial as well. Try having the one track leading into the terminal, and then it might be easier. So you have the crossover going into the terminal anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. I wanted to just have a lot of options for trains to come in and come out of here. I wanted it to be really busy, so that's why I designed it the way that I did. Thanks, Greg. So I'm going to read this for anybody who's watching the playback here. Greg says in the chat, for those wondering who the heck I am, I started Oran and began Trains. I wrote Joe a few months back saying how impressed I was with what he was doing. So thanks a bunch, Greg. That's pretty awesome to have you here in the chat on the stream. Change junction 2410 to a Y turnout. Which one is that? 2410 into a Y turnout. Where is 2410? 2490. 2410 into a Y. Let's see. So if I turn that into a Y, I'm trying to think of what... Oh, so then it would connect up to here. Tricky things here, tricky things. If I turn that into a Y and then maybe what, delete this bit of the track? I see what you're saying here to turn that into a Y. I'm just trying to think of how, if that is gonna help. Yeah, the alternative too is if I... Could I do this? If I could get... That still wouldn't help. I was thinking if I could get this, if I put a junction, sort of something like that. Not exactly like that, but that would give us access from the freight house to this track, and then if I move this track over to here somehow. Can I connect the freight houses any other way is the other thing. All right, Bobby Sikorsky, thanks for hanging out. Catch you later. Get rid of the crossover after junction 2410 and replace it with a 1 or 2 slip points leading into the freight yard. After 2410. Yeah, that was the other thing that I was kind of starting to wonder myself. Let's just try something here. If I do... If I could make a junction there, and then it's still going to be too tight. I think the junctions are going to be too tight if I... Even if I try to double slip. I wonder if I could somehow... Can I do something like this? Junctions on curves are just not... It's just such a pain sometimes. Sometimes they can look really good, and sometimes they can get really, really brutal. Could they be express box cars that ARW that are added to passenger only? Yeah, I mean, is that a thing? Is that how things can be operated? Because if that's the case, then yeah, I mean, we can operate. I guess you could do like a, yeah, I guess that would make sense. You could do like a combo. All right, we'll leave it at that. I might just have to know on the bits a little bit more. I'm not going to save any of that because I was just kind of messing around. All right, so let's get back to the session that I was working on here. Union Terminal, view sessions, coach shuffle. Let's see, somebody sent me something in the Discord. What am I looking for? Yeah, who is this? Rio Grande? I could do, I get it. Yeah, I could do something like that. What it is, it's 2 Ys and a crossover for everybody else. Not, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'll have to just mess around with this and see what works. But I did want to just fix why this didn't give me a new objective add. I wonder if it's because the name was duplicated. Fourth objective, a couple, okay. What stinks is, like, in order to test this out, I have to go through all the steps all over again. Alright, just check this, and then we'll test it out again. Oh, see, that's why, because I didn't update the fourth objective. Typos, they'll always get you when you're programming. Alright, let's test this out quick again. Oops, that's not the button I wanted to hit. Drive. Okay, a couple of the passenger coaches, great. Thanks for stopping by, Greg. It was good to chat with you. Hopefully we'll get to see you again soon. Have a good one. Alright, bring the coaches terminal track 6. Okay, we got that. That's good. Oh, we grabbed a grabbed a steam engine by accident. Flip this around. Delete the steam engine off of here quickly. Okay, good. I think that that's going to be one of our best, the best way to figure this out is just to work through the switching move, and then I'll figure out, like, if it, you know, what I might need, if I need to add a crossover in one spot or another. But you guys might be right. If maybe if the boxcars are switched into passenger consists, I know I've seen that in the past. So that might be a thing. And I'm not gonna push these all the way in. I'm just gonna stop here. Okay, uncouple from the coaches and pick up boxcars at the freight houses. Okay. And then once we stop, then we can move this over. Any recommendations for good buildings freeware to install for trains for anything US? Well, there's some good stuff on Jointed Rail. I would check out Trains Forge. Also has a good selection of buildings. Other than that, you really just have to just look around yourself on the download station and kind of pick through things. It can be challenging, but there is some good stuff out there. Some people had mentioned before, Dave Snow has some pretty good looking buildings. There's some other creators out there that have some nice buildings. Sometimes what I'll do is, instead of digging through the download station and stuff like that looking for stuff, you can, you know, find a route or a map that somebody's made that you like or you've seen screenshots of, and download that, and then those assets will be included in that download, so you can just kind of pick through those. But it can be challenging because the download station is still populated with quite a bit of older content. Some stuff that was done with, like, Google SketchUp and other programs like that, which were great for, you know, Trains 2004 or 5 or 6 or whatever. But you know, they don't meet up to Trains and New Era Stearns. Actually, these 2 freight houses I think were made by Dave Snow. So I think they're pretty decent. But anyway, yeah, so there is a lot of old stuff still on the download station, but there is a lot of nice newer stuff. You just have to kind of pick around for it. It can be challenging, and it could be really, really annoying sometimes. One of the other things that I like to do is to, like, kit bash is, would be the term if you were doing this in a model railroad, like a real model railroad. But, take some buildings and put them together, sort of, like, on the map. Like, clip them together, and you can, if you do it right and you line things up, you can get some pretty cool effects. Oh, did we get a pop? Oh, we did get the pop-up to couple to the next guy. Okay, good. So let's do this. For example, like these buildings over here that I have in the back, like this building, 3 stories tall, you can see I've got the truck parked under it. That building is the same as this building right here. This is actually the same building 3 times. Partially lowered into the ground, partially clipped into the backdrop, and then partially clipped into itself over here. So, just by taking the same building and rotating it and clipping it into itself, you can get some pretty cool effects. What are you guys asking me here? Do I back up all my downloaded assets? No, I do not. I don't do that. I do back up my all my routes that I create. I do export to a CDP pretty much after every video that I make, or anytime that I do a lot of work, I'll save it and then I export it and I save it to the cloud. So I do that, but in terms of like the assets, the way that I look at it is this. If I'm using assets, let's say in a map, let's say it's the PNB, and something happens to my game, hypothetically speaking, or I buy a new game, let's say Trains, 2018 comes out. I grab that and I port the PNB into it. And some of that content is missing because, maybe it came from third-party sites, maybe it's not available anymore, or that kind of thing. At that point, I'm just going to delete those assets and replace them because I don't want to keep using assets that are gone or that are not possible. It doesn't make sense, so I'll update them with something that is available, something new, and use that instead. What was this question here? Do I know if anyone has plans to rebuild the big boy for Trains? No, I don't know if anybody has any plans for that. I'm not really privy to that kind of stuff, especially like, locomotive engine models and stuff like that. I know a lot of you guys are always asking me on Twitter or Snapchat or wherever else, is Jointed Rail going to make XYZ engine and that sort of thing. I have no idea. I don't know what people are working on, for the most part. Sometimes people share screenshots, but for the most part, like some of the stuff that I see from Jointed Rail that people are working on is the same stuff you guys see like in the screenshots thread, or the Jointed Rail screenshots or stuff like that. So I'm not really privy to things that you guys are not privy to. I just get to touch it first. Because we beta test each other's, engines or maps or whatever. But I don't necessarily know what people are working on. Alright, so my wife just texted me. I will probably be wrapping this up in the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. FYI. So we'll just do, for the last little bit, we'll just do some switching and figure out like what other kind of moves we can do. If you guys have other ideas for operating sessions on this map, leave me a comment or put it in the chat. I guess I would prefer if you put it in the comments, not in the chat, because the chat's not saved. But if you have some kind of a session that you'd like me to work on, like I said, I've got maybe 3 or 4 ideas for sessions. So, if you guys have something else in mind, let me know, and then gives me some ideas to build on, that kind of thing. I guess we'll just park this down in the coach yard. Why the heck not, This is a great map. I'm sorry. I know I'm not trying to like be whatever the word would be for that, but I mean, I really like this map. I like the way that it looks. It's very fun. It's very nice to look at, and I love freight yards so much. I like seeing all the trains kind of sitting there and stuff like that. So this is really my kind of map. So I'm proud of it. I like it. I think it looks really good, and I think that maybe I could tweak some of the operations and stuff like that, but or the excuse me, the track layouts, so the operations are a little bit more smooth, but you know, I like it so far. What's up, Terry Bolden? How's it going, dude? Sliding in to say hello. You're at work. That stinks. Be working on a Sunday. I gotta work tomorrow myself, but tomorrow's Monday. Test the horn there. Are there any steam locomotive sessions? Again, I mean, you guys can weigh in on this one and let me know what you think. If I do steam engines, they're going to have to be from third-party developers. They're going to have to be from Trains Forged. They're going to have to be from K&L, like freeware, stuff like that. So if you guys don't mind downloading third-party stuff to run a session, then that's fine, and locating any kind of missing assets and stuff like that. But the Steam stuff that is on the download station is so, like, random. And I was saying earlier, like, there's Steam engines, and I was talking about this in Discord too. There's Steam engines there without tenders, or without matching tenders. Like, what? Why? Why would you upload the locomotive but not the tender? Like, it just drives me nuts. So I'm not really sure what to do about that. I guess if I could find some Steam engines that are decent on the download station, I could use those. CSX says, check the Discord screenshot chat. Cool. All right, so we'll just leave these guys here. I guess the next thing we can do, let's just take these F units, and we'll couple up to the passenger consist that we just. Oh, I don't have an engineer here. We'll couple up to that consist that we just parked. Just for fun. Before I have to go and make dinner. Okay, so now we're over here. Well, if you guys, Michael Bob says they're not exactly random, you just need to know where to look. If you know of, if you have specific QIDs that numbers for assets, for Steam engines and stuff like that on the download station, shoot them to me. Let me know, because I would love to do a Steam session. You know, I want some more Steam engines here. That's why I built this map, was to do Steam and Diesel. So if you know of some decent stuff, like, totally, let me know. I would love to implement that kind of stuff. Oh, look at that. I'm missing a switch lever. Aha. See, good thing we're doing this, because I'm noticing stuff that I need to fix before I do a release. Subpar Trains does have some good stuff for Steam, for sure. I always find faulty stuff, though. Unfortunately, Steam tends to have lots of faulty things. And I think it's because there's so many different scripts running for animations and whatever else. But I always have really bad luck with Steam stuff. For whatever reason. I would love to do another build like this, too. I think if I do another build series like this, it's not going to be a build challenge. The original challenge for this was supposed to be done in one episode, but that was not going to happen. I guess we can go that way. I think I would put this into Trains Model Railroad. I like doing the Model Railroad builds. I mean, it's nice because, like, you only have to model, like, this much, you know? So I could put a lot of detail and a lot of time into stuff. But, you know, something like the P&B or, like, a bigger build, you're modeling a lot of background stuff that, you know, you need to have there, but it's not necessarily like train oriented. Oh, that looks so good. Train Boy 1. Search for Train Boy 1 on the download station. Okay, I'll take a look. So, aha. So I've now found another problem with this, is that if we want to take an engine and get it to our coaches over there, we can't. So I'm gonna have to work this out. I mean, we can, but it's gonna cost us a bunch of moves. Because really, I need to. You're right, guys. I should probably put like a double slip in here. I'm gonna have to. I'll do this, you know, later on. But I think that that's gonna be the way to go. Put a double slip or something like that in here, because right now, in order to get this engine to that consist, I have to go down here, take this junction, and then back down the Y. That's kind of a pain. The coaches are off of Trains Forge, and I'm not sure offhand if it was from the new Trains Forge site or the old Trains Forge site. What's up, Skylar Young? Welcome to the stream. Bobby Sikorsky, let JR know that Trains users need arcade station and couriers. Needs arcades. I don't know what that is. But I can't tell them what to make. Everybody's got their own projects. Everybody's doing stuff that they're, you know, that they're interested in, that they want to do. I do wish, my big dream would be for, I don't want to say jointed rail necessarily, but just for trains in general, like, if there was a company that just did, that was kind of like Atlas or Kato for HO or N-Scale, that just specifically like worked with N3V and did engines and freight cars and stuff like that. And models, you know, like Walters. Just had like a whole catalog, and that was their thing. That's all they did, and they just cranked out stuff like that. But it's I don't really think that that's realistic. Or, I mean, it could be realistic, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it could happen. Man, how'd you like to live in these apartments here? That'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind it. But how great would that be if one day there was sort of a dedicated content maker, and then that's what they did, was just hammer out, you know, whatever, all kinds of stuff exclusively for the game. Alright, let's check our junctions here. We gotta go, we're aligned here, we gotta go this way, that way, and that way. Oh, you know what, let's not couple to that one. Let's go, we'll grab this set here. Why not? It's a bunch of matching coaches. Mass 4449 says it's the new Trains Forge where you can get those passenger coaches. So there you go. Stockpile away. I didn't really mean this to turn into an operating session. This live stream is supposed to be building a session, but whatever. We start testing it out and we get sidetracked. What do you expect? That's what happens. All right, so basically we're gonna just couple up to this passenger consist. We'll take it to the portal and watch it pass through the layout, and then I gotta go cook dinner. That'll be it for today. Gonna do a P&B stream where we go and rescue a stranded train. That might be pretty cool. I could come up with something like that. My ears are itchy. Oh, you know what? I never did either. I don't think I ever set speed limits on this map. Womp womp. I'd like to build a session where it's just like non-stop passenger trains coming in and going out. I think that would be so awesome just to see. I mean, even if it was like a totally scripted, a completely scripted session where just trains are just moving, it would just be really cool to watch. But that's a lot of work to do. All right, Mass 4449, thanks for joining. Oh, don't derail, don't derail. Stop, 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 stop. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's just get in and make this the... Oh, I have to change the facing, I think, of this, right? Reverse train direction. I don't know what I'm doing here. Move to train, this one. Oh, I can't move because are we loading passengers right now? Is that what's happening? Yeah. Are we loading passengers again? What's going on here? I guess so. And away we go. Alright, so we need to change our junctions to go this way. Switch that. And this. And I never put down the new... I thought I didn't save that. Okay, interesting. I did save. I didn't think I saved the modifications to the track that I did, but I guess I did. I'm out of coffee. Sad face. Have I ever played Train Sim? I have not. It looks really nice, though, from what I've seen. Is that the same as Train Sim World? Train Sim, like I feel like I hear that those terms like used interchangeably, like Train Sim World, Train Simulator 2017. Are those all the same game with different download content? I'm not really clear on that. This is the only train simulator that I do anything with at all. I'm not really on the up and up. What else is out there? Too focused on doing builds in this simulator and doing videos. Kind of the same. Okay. Higher quality train simulation game. TS 2018 and 17 and so on is the same, just the name change. Train Sim World is a lot more realistic. Yeah, I've seen Train Sim World. I was gonna buy it when it was on sale, but I've heard it's kind of boring. But man, those graphics are insane. Absolutely insane. The loads on these are kind of weird. You can see it's not like rendered in. All right, we can highball away. Yeah, I guess I don't mind these box cars being down here. It's kind of cool to see the passenger cars mixed with freight cars. I do like that. That's one thing that I wanted to achieve with this build, was having passenger coaches and freight cars kind of like intertwined. And I have no idea where we're gonna go on the other side of here. I think we just go right into the portal. Get a nice vantage point here. Engine staging in the coach yard for passenger trains. Yeah, I could do that too. And then I think that is gonna do it for today, my friends. Got a little bit done doing the session and did some operations, so that was fun. Greg Clem came in, or Greg, what was his last name? Anyway, he came by, which was awesome. Said hi, the original creator of trains. So anyway, that is gonna do it for today, guys. If you have any ideas, like I said, for any of the other operating sessions or anything like that, you can leave a comment or just send me a message or something along those lines, and I'll try to integrate it. But I do have some more operating sessions that I want to build for this map and for others, so I'll probably be doing that during live streams, because as I said in Friday's video, these aren't really not really anything particularly interesting to do for a video, for just like a standalone video. But for a live stream, it's good. We could troubleshoot things together. We can hang out and chat and come up with some ideas and just troubleshoot all kinds of horrible errors that I've made on the map and try to fix them together. But that is going to do it for today, dudes. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. I'm going to go make some dinner and probably play some video games with my wife. And that'll be it. So see you guys hopefully soon. See you guys soon. Have a good night.